What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Today we are diving into the newest offering from Overwatch Precision, which is the TAC trigger for the CZ P10 series. Now, if you've watched my channel, I have been a huge fan of the Overwatch triggers for the Glocks. This one's definitely following suit. And really quick, a huge thank you to all of you commenters, likers, and subscribers, and especially my subscribed stars. Because of your support and the channel growing, Overwatch Precision was nice enough to send this out to the channel so I could test it out and compare it to others available on the market. Now, a lot of us know, especially if you own a P10C or F or whatever, or even the S, CZs have a fairly good trigger. Actually, I'm gonna say a pretty dang good trigger out of the box for a striker fired platform. Now, this new one from Overwatch Precision just kind of takes it to that next level. Before we get into the rest of that, the sponsor of today's video is Hidden Hybrid Holsters. Today's video is brought to you by Hidden Hybrid Holsters, bringing you that sweet, sweet leather for your holster needs, or just a little something to keep your pants up in the way of a belt. Now, whether it's for a dress occasion or whether you just prefer leather against that sweet, sweet, supple skin of yours, if you're in the market for a hybrid holster today, check them out at hiddenhybridholsters.com or in the link in the description. So just to give you guys a quick look before we tear this down and get into it, this is what we are looking at right here, that sexy TAC design. That is your take-up, hard wall on it, clean hard wall break, pretty light, reset, break. This thing definitely takes that CZ trigger to the next level, which is pretty much what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be, I guess, as kind of smooth feeling as this one, as comparing it to, say, the HBI, or even Overwatch's triggers for the Glock platform, even though the CZ has just a different operating system in there, which makes it a little bit better right out of the box. So this new TAC trigger from Overwatch, it carries those good Overwatch Precision looks, it maintains all of those safeties, and it brings down the weight about a half pound, which is pretty solid, being that the CZ trigger is really good from the factory. And there is nothing wrong with a factory trigger. The factory triggers in most striker fire systems, however, are extremely conservative and can be shortened up, cleaned up, or lightened up, generally quite a bit. So what are the benefits of, say, an aftermarket trigger, something like this Overwatch Precision one? Well, it's gonna be lighter, it's gonna be a little faster, it's gonna maintain all those safeties, and it is definitely gonna be sexier, and it's probably gonna feel a little bit better on that tactile engagement with your fingers, which is what a lot of people complain about due to the trigger shoe safety on a lot of striker fire guns kind of digging into your trigger finger. Now, we all know that looks are not everything, so let's check out some of that range footage. All right, so you can see as a performer, let's go ahead and get into this thing, see what it's all about, tear it down, show you what you get. Of course, do some of those pull tests, which I know you guys are interested in. Make sure that you do all the things. Like the video if you're into it, hit that subscribe button, definitely turn the bell notification icons on, and we are gonna get into this Overwatch TAC trigger for the CZ P10 series right now. All right, we're gonna take a good hard look at this sexy, sexy Overwatch Precision TAC trigger for the CZ P10C. Now, the CZ P10C from the factory has a far better trigger than some other striker fired platforms. It's solid out of the box. This is not an absolute necessity, nothing like that. This is just one of those solid upgrades you can do if you're into it, because it changes this whole pistol. So give you guys a quick view just at the pulls and everything here. That is your wall, defined and hard, which is what I am a fan of. Take up, wall, immediate break, no creep. Reset is extremely short. Right there, hard wall, I'll go real slow. You can see there is, if there's creep there, it's unmeasurable. Again, check that reset. Very, very short. Super clean, and they have done a solid job here on this trigger. So it's got those good Overwatch Precision looks. You know I'm a fan of Overwatch. They have one of the best looking, and in my opinion, one of the best tactile feeling triggers out there on the market. Now, when it comes to striker fired stuff, and I'm gonna use my little punch tool here, A lot of what people don't like is the trigger shoe safety, especially on Glocks. So as you can see, this one, as you get your finger on it, it actually will go slightly sub-flush. So when you have your finger in there, that little tiny hook at the bottom is really gonna key in your finger to where it needs to be, because the lower you are on the trigger shoe, the cleaner and lighter the break is gonna be. But it goes all the way flush, so the tactile engagement is very smooth on the finger. Very nice chamfers rounded off in here. Quick functions check. So like I said earlier, the one thing, the lower you pull on this trigger shoe, the lighter it is. That's pretty much gonna go for everything, because you gotta think that this is more leverage. The lower you get, the more leverage you're gonna have on it. So we are gonna go right about where the crook is on the shoe, because I can feel that when I'm pulling the trigger. And that's the space we're looking for. So a little bit over 4.5 pounds. I'm actually gonna turn this way so we can see this as we're pulling it. Go ahead and reset here. Do this one more time. Okay, oop, forgot to reset that. Sorry, we'll do that again. Okay, so that one broke at 4 pounds, 2 ounces. We'll do a couple more here just so we have a really good, consistent idea. And like I said, trying to get right where I feel my finger on that shoe. So you can see right there, 4 pounds, 6 ounces on that one. We're going to do one more just to stay super consistent here on what we're getting. Okay, so right there again, 4 pounds and 6 ounces. Solid. Now, like I said, again, depending on, and I'll explain this again and do one more pull to show you, where you put your finger on this trigger is going to determine the pull weight. If you get your finger way up high here like that, okay, it's actually maxing out the gauge. So you can see right there. So you get it a little bit lower, say right at the pin. See what I'm talking about? You have to get your finger on an appropriate place on this trigger to maximize your effectiveness. So even higher, a little bit higher than I was before, you can see broke at about 5.5. All has to do with that leverage point, you know. Obviously the higher up you are, if you're way up there like that, you're gonna have a heavier pull. The lower you are, like I tenderly drag my finger across the frame like this, you're gonna get the lightest break there possible. Let's go ahead and talk about the cost, the quality of this thing overall, and if something like this is going to be worth it for you. Overwatch Precision has been one of my favorite triggers for the Glock platform. Now moving into this CZ is a huge step in the right direction. Now CZs have a really good trigger out of the box. It's consistent, it's clean, it's a hardwall break, pretty short reset. This really takes this trigger to the next level, but it still maintains what I consider the big three. And in this order, for me, they are safety, performance, and cost. All of the safeties have been maintained. Their performance is there. Shorter take up, defined hard wall, short reset, clean and crisp break with about a ½ pound difference from the factory. Now I'm gonna say that's the sweet spot. Any lighter than that, and I would say that is pretty aggressive to the point where it wouldn't be good for most people, but I think they nailed it on this one right up front. Of course, I think it's one of the better looking trigger as well, but it's really about those big three that I talked about. Now the cost on it coming in right at 99 bucks for the kit, that's pretty solid for what you're getting in there, the shoe, the new striker and everything, that MP3 coating, because all of those things add up. Also, not changing out that striker spring. You don't have to worry about having those light primer strikes, especially if you're a reloader or maybe using some of that cheaper ammo. And again, these are options. This is nothing that's necessary. This is just something that you may want to do or may take that next level if you're in a competition or if you just like changing things, because some of us just can't leave good enough alone.
That was not optimal.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys get out there, have some fun on the range. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you like the content. Turn the bell notification icons on. If you're interested in anything that you saw here today, I will leave the links for this stuff down below. Check the first link in the description, or just go to my webpage, tacticalconsiderations.com. Everything will be there for you. And I will see you guys on the next one.